Welcome to Bio124, also known as Human Diseases or Pathophysiology. I am your instructor. My name is Terry Nagy, and I will be teaching your course this semester. I've created this video to help you find your way around our course on Blackboard. Because our course is taught 100% online, I thought it was important for us to know our way around. You'll see right now I'm opened up to our homepage on Blackboard. We're going to take a look at a couple tabs in the left-hand column. Before we go to the Start Here folder and the Lessons folder, I want to show you this is where you find your grades, and this is where all communication will take place under course messages. I prefer you to email me in the course message program on Blackboard rather than sending me an email through Stark State. If you send me a message in Blackboard, it immediately links you to the section on which you are enrolled, so I can take a look at your grades, I can take a look at your assignments, and I can get back to you a lot quicker than if you sent me a message in the Stark State email system, and then I have to figure out what course you're in to try to answer your question. So it's much more efficient, and it's where I will be communicating with you in the message system, so it's where I want you to communicate with me. Now we are on the home page. We are going to go to the Start Here folder. This is opened in instructor mode, so everything is accessible to us right now, but yours will look very similar to this. You'll see our class video is right there, and then we have an overview of our course. We also have our syllabus and our class schedule, study guides for tests, information on research and assignments, what I expect of you, what you expect of me, how I determine grades, how discussion forums are graded, how to submit an assignment in Dropbox, prerequisites for this course, frequently asked questions, and your first discussion forum, which I'd like you to complete in the first week of course. This is to introduce yourself. Now let's go back to the top. Let's take a look at our class syllabus. Now I already pulled it up for us here, so we are going to take a look at it, and I'm going to scroll back to the top. So this is our master syllabus, followed by our class syllabus, followed by our class schedule, which is at the end. So let's take a look at the class syllabus, because what you're going to be interested in is how are your grades determined. This is a weighted course, which means your tests hold the most weight. They are the most valuable. So if you don't do well on your tests, but you get A's on everything else, it's still going to be hard to pass the course. You have to do well on your tests. The reason these tests carry the most weight is because it is my assessment of your understanding of the material that has been presented. That's why it's most important. If you want to try to figure out how you're doing in the course, there's a little system here where you can enter in your grades and you multiply it by the percentage that it's worth to figure out what your grades are. There's information on case studies, on quizzes, on discussion boards. And then towards the end, as I already shown you, we have our class schedule. This is divided up by weeks. In the left-hand column will be the week that we are currently in. The second column will have the topics that we will be discussing. The furthest column to the right will have page numbers. Your second column will also list the assignments that are due for that particular week. Your third column will tell you the date that the assignment must be turned in by. All assignments open up on the Sunday of the week that they are due, and they are due by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. You have a whole 7 days to complete your exams, your quizzes, your discussion forums, your case studies, etc. For that reason, it is really, really rare that I will allow any makeups or extensions because you have plenty of time to complete the assignments. You'll see as we go down, this is divided into 16 weeks, with the 16th week being your final exam. Now let's go back to our course. Let's pull it up here. So we went through our class syllabus and schedule. You'll see the next tab is a study guide tab. There are 5 exams in this course. There are 5 study guides to help you focus your energy in the right direction. You also have research assignments due in this course. You have 5 case studies to complete and 1 research paper. If you go back to our class schedule, you'll see when those case studies are due, you'll see when the paper is due. Now the case studies will be found in the lessons folder in a tab called exam rooms. We are going to take a look at that here in just a couple seconds. So let's go over to our lessons tab. And again, this is opened up in instructor view, but you have the exact same tabs. They may not all be open right now because they will open as the weeks click by, but the first tab you'll see is one called Muddy Points. Muddy Points is a place for you to ask questions about the material we are talking about. If there's a time where you feel like you wish you could raise your hand and ask a question, you post it in Muddy Points. I do ask that if an exam is currently open, meaning it opened up on Sunday and it's in the middle of the week and it's due on Saturday, that you do not post any exam-related questions in Muddy Points, especially if you have questions about an answer on an exam, because this is open up for everybody. So if you have specific exam-related questions while an exam is open, direct those to me through Blackboard message system. The next tab we have is exam rooms. Now there's 5 exam rooms because you have 5 case studies which are due this semester. Each exam room will open at a certain time in the semester. When that exam room opens, you will have the choice of 2 or 3 different patients with patient scenarios. You are to read the patient scenario and answer the questions which follow, and then submit your case study through Dropbox. Next, you're going to see our learning modules. We have learning modules all the way through to the end, with week 15 being our last learning module. Week 16 is our final exam. We're going to take a look at our first week 1 learning module to see what it looks like. Now yours may not look like this. I'm on a Mac computer, so sometimes the way my computer presents things is different than on a PC, but you have pretty much the same tabs and access that I have. You just may have to hunt around a little bit to find everything. So the week 1 content folder is going to tell you what chapters we're going to be focusing on, where you're going to find the information, what assignments are due week 1. That means these assignments have to be done by Saturday at 11:59, and then what assignment is coming up for the following week. If we click on the week 1 content folder, we're going to open up our materials folder and our assignment folder. Our materials folder is going to list your learning objectives, and if we open it, we're going to see we have 2 topics that we are discussing in week 1. The first one is just an intro on pathophysiology. The second one is on aging. So if we open up the intro folder, we are going to find a PowerPoint and we are going to find a Quizlet. Now Quizlets are not in every folder, or every topic doesn't have a Quizlet, but a Quizlet is a learning aid. If you click on this link, it's going to take you to another website where you will find the terminology from that chapter, and you'll be able to learn the information by doing flashcards or playing games, etc. So it's a great way to learn the terminology. We're going to take a look at the aging chapter because this is going to look a little bit more like what most of the chapters are going to look like. You're going to have your PowerPoint, you may have your Quizlet, but you're also going to have articles that you need to read. All this material is testable. Now I pulled up a PowerPoint for you to take a look at because I think it's important for you to realize that not only do the PowerPoints have words on them, they also have an audio. So this is not the chapter that we're doing the first week, but if you put this in slide review mode and you click, it'll just play the audio for you. Chapter 10 focuses on the blood and circulatory. And then you move on to the next slide. I think it's important for you to know that because sometimes students just go through the words and they don't realize there's an audio there. The reason I put the audio there is because we're not in a classroom and I don't have the ability to explain this information to you. If I tried to explain everything in written words, your PowerPoints would be hundreds of slides long. So I add an audio to help you understand the concepts a little bit better. Now let's go back to our classroom here, into our lessons tab. So we have our PowerPoint, we have our articles that we need to read, and then if we go to our assignment folder, you're going to find that sometimes we have a review board, a discussion review board that pops up for the first test. We have our first quiz here. This is where you're going to find the drop boxes for your case studies. It's where you're going to find your discussion forums, where you're going to find your exams and your quizzes. That's all going to be in our assignment folder. So hopefully this gives you a little tour on where to find things for the class. Hopefully it's pretty basic and clear. But if you have any questions about where things are, or maybe yours, because you're on a PC and I'm on a Mac, yours looks a little different than mine, send me a message in Blackboard and I will do my best to help you find your way around.